Hi there, it's Kathleen here with a process video for Pinkfresh Studio. Thank you for joining me, and for today's layout I chose the Indigo Hills 2 collection while I'm still waiting for the new ones to arrive. And as you can see, I cut the word adventure using my silhouette portrait from one of the papers from the Indigo Hills collection. And usually I cut files from white cardstock, but this time I wanted to try something different and thought that this paper would look really nice. And I didn't use any specific cut file, I just used a font from my library and then welded it together. That's it. And it's really easy to do because, to be honest, I'm not that proficient in silhouette stuff, so it's if I can do it, you can do it. So I had already prepared my white cardstock with some clear gesso before I started putting on all of the paints you can see right here, and I'm using the packaging technique, so that means I'm using sprays to spray on just some packaging, then I push this onto the background or onto my cardstock, add a little bit of water just to have this kind of watercolor effect, and I wanted to have a very light and subtle background because the blue of the adventure piece is already very dark and bold, so I just wanted a little bit of something going on in the background. And I mainly chose yellow and like a pinkish orange kind of color that would work really well with the Indigo Hills collection, or Indigo Hills 2. And the photos I'm going to use are of my husband and our dog and me and our dog when we were on vacation. And before I even knew I would use this cut file, I had already printed those photos out. So this is why only now I thought of actually putting the photos behind some of the letters. Had I known this before, I probably would have printed the photos larger because, as you can see, the photo isn't big enough to fill the whole letter. But I will show you in a second how I fix this. So I had to cut off the rest of the photo that was sticking out of the letter R. So I'm just using the cut off of my photo to piece this on, at the bottom of my photo, so I will fill the whole letter. And if you look closely, you can tell that this was pieced together, but in the end it's not that visible and it works for me. So I really didn't want to print the photos out again because I don't want to waste any paper or ink, so I thought this would be a good solution. And the same with the other photo. I'm going to put this behind the A, although the D has a bigger opening and the photo looks nice behind the D as well. I didn't want the two photos in the same line. So this is why I decided to put the photos behind the letter A and R, because all of the other letters are too small to put any photos behind them. And I had cut the cut file too big as to put the photos as they were on the layout. So this is something you can do with your cut files as well. If you have a large opening, you can also put your photo behind it. And I think it makes for a really nice look, and especially if you want to have a multi-photo layout, because I don't use more than one photo very often, and I think this is a good way to do so. And now I'm just backing the rest of the letters with I decided to back the rest of the letters with paper scraps that I had left of some of the pattern papers, and I cut most of that out of the video because, it's kind of boring to watch. And you probably all know how to do it. I decided to use very subtle and light pieces of paper because I wanted to have the blue paper still stand out, but I felt that if I didn't put any paper behind the letters, the photos wouldn't stand out, because then you would see the background through all of the other letters, and it was not exactly busy, but I don't know, for me it just made sense to back the letters with pattern paper. And for one of the letters, for the D, I actually used one of the tags in the journaling spots packages, or in the package, which has some gold foiling on it. And just a second ago I put some kind of fun foam behind the letters to raise them up a little bit from the page, because now I want to put some embellishments around the word and have some of the pieces stick out from underneath, So I like to have dimension on my layouts, and using foam adhesive or fun foam is a really easy and nice way to do it, especially if you have very solid lines or big parts where you, or large parts when you can actually put that behind it. So if you have a very delicate cut file, for example, it's quite difficult, and I would probably be too lazy to do it, but this one was really easy to do. And although the photos don't have anything to do with flowers or florals really, I like to have flowers on my layouts. I love flowers, so for me flower embellishments always work. And the Indigo Hills collection has some very nice elements in it, like the puffy stickers that I used next to the letters, for example. The one flower to the left of the E is a chipboard sticker, then that yellow leaf sticking out behind the V was cut from one of the papers, and so on. So there's something in every piece of the collection. And now I needed one more bigger piece that I could put somewhere in the third row, because I want to have 3 small clusters around the word adventure of flowers. And I already have one in the first row, I have one in the second row, so now I need something in the third row, and I will put that on the right side again, so that in the end I have some kind of a visual triangle of clusters. And I cut that flower from one of the pattern papers, which you just saw me do a second ago. And then I will add in some more smaller pieces from the ephemera pack, I think. And the blue piece next to the T is from the wood veneer stickers. And although I said I have a visual triangle of clusters, I still wanted to add that part because, or that piece, because I think it looked really nice. I like the color, the pop of dark blue there, and it says there's so much more ahead. And for me, because I tucked it behind the letter T, it kind of looks like an arrow. So for me it reads like, you know, like a road sign pointing to more adventure, if you know what I mean and if that makes any sense. But to me it made sense, it looks nice, and I just liked it there. So yeah, I added some gold splatters, then some enamel dots, and off camera I will also add some journaling with a gold pen. And oh yeah, this is the final touch. I like to have some kind of tearing on my layouts, so I stuck that little piece of pattern paper behind that upper left corner, where I'm going to put the puffy sticker that says magic, and I adhered this with my stapler. So that was the final touch, and then here is the finished layout. So I hope you enjoyed it, I hope it inspires you. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know, and then I want to thank you for watching and hope you have a wonderful day. See you again soon. Bye!